Now on Sunrise and streaming on CrossroadsToday.com, Governor Greg Abbott victorious over Democratic candidate Beto O'Rourke in Texas's gubernatorial race. We have your midterm election results straight ahead. And crews battled a fire at a Victoria home overnight. 5 people, including 3 children, taken to area hospitals. Also, hurricane warnings are in effect for parts of east and central Florida as Tropical Storm Nicole moves closer to the state.
And waking up this morning with foggy conditions in parts of the Crossroads. Beautiful sunrise this morning. Take a look at that. We're down here in Port Lavaca at the Nautical Landings Marina there in Port Lavaca, of course. When does the cold air arrive? Well, I'll let you know that coming up in your forecast.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Astrain. Today is the 9th day of November 2022 and the time is now 6:31 on your Wednesday morning. And on this day in 1934, Carl Sagan, an astronomer and science writer, was born. You may know him from his book Contact, which I really enjoy the film. Let's go ahead and check in with First Warn Storm team meteorologist Trey Mining. Trey, are you a fan of Contact?
Exactly. Carl Sagan was fabulous. Of course, he had a PBS show when I was little, because I'm old, I remember the show, and he talked about space, and his famous line was billions and billions of years ago, light years away. Kind of sound like that. So one thing I remember about that show, and one thing you need to remember is the foggy conditions. Take a look at that. We're socked in with fog here, and visibility is almost to 0 in Victoria County. That's why we have a fog advisory in effect. You know what you need to do? Just wait till a better time to later on this morning to go run an errand or what have you, because you want to stay in, want you to remain safe. You have to be out, low headlights, beams, please, and reduce speed, 71 degrees. Dew points and the air temperature is 71. And when they meet, you typically have fog. That's what we're having now. And a fog advisory once again for Wharton County, Matagorda, Jackson, Goliad County, and Victoria County. Even though some of the other areas like Cuero, Port Lavaca are not under the advisory, that doesn't mean it's not fog there, because there is. So no matter where you go, take that fog into consideration when driving. Low headlight beams, please, and reduce the speed. And we'll keep the fog in for another hour or two. By 9 o'clock, it's all evaporated away as the sun comes up and heats up the atmosphere. And good 12-mile visibility everywhere you go by the 9 a.m., 10 a.m. hour and through the rest of the day. And temperatures starting off in the 60s to near 70 degrees, 75 or so by late morning, well into 80s by noontime until the lunchtime hour, until about 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Definitely on the warm side. These temperatures will soon be a memory, replaced by colder air from the north and tumbling temperatures. When will that be exactly? Any more rain chances? Looks like that also could be the case. We'll give the details on that later on in the full forecast to come, actually later on this half hour. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. The fight for control of Congress remains too close to call after voters took to the polls in the midterm elections. Neither party was able to strike a decisive early victory in Tuesday's elections. Several key Senate races remain too close to call, including in Georgia and Pennsylvania. Meanwhile, Republicans held on to control in Florida, with Ron DeSantis holding the governor's office and Marco Rubio keeping his Senate seat. And in New York, Governor Kathy Hochul fought off a close challenge from Republican Lee Zeldin. We'll go to Capitol Hill for a closer look at election results later on Sunrise. A national news tally reports Republican Governor Greg Abbott has won re-election to a 3rd term, defeating Democratic challenger Beto O'Rourke. Abbott held his election night watch party in McAllen on the southern border. In his speech, Abbott said if Republicans do take Congress, he will demand they secure the border. In other races across Texas in the 2022 midterm election, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick wins with 54% of the vote against Mike Collier. Republican Lois Kolkhorst wins with 40% of the vote against Democrat Josh Tutt. Attorney General Ken Paxton wins with 54% of the vote. Democrat Rochelle Mercedes Garza behind with 42% of the vote. And here's a look at voter turnout in Victoria County. 45% of registered voters showed up to the polls. That's more than 25,000 ballots cast. Victoria County has more than 56,000 registered voters. The Victoria Fire Department and Victoria Police Department responding to a trailer fire early Wednesday morning, assisting 5 people out of the trailer. All 3 of them being children, taken to area hospitals. Around 12:30 a.m., the Victoria Police and Fire Department responded to the fire that was in the 2500 block of Lone Tree Road.
Officers responded and we were able to assist in removing 2 occupants out of the house. Once fire arrived on scene, the other 3 occupants were removed from the home. It was 2 adults and 3 children that were removed from the home. They were all transported to local hospitals, and I don't have any information as far as condition.
The Victoria Fire Department is investigating the cause and extent of damage from the fire. Hurricane warnings are in effect for parts of east and central Florida as Tropical Storm Nicole moves closer to the state. The National Hurricane Center says Nicole is heading west, with the center expected to approach the northwestern Bahamas on Tuesday. The NHC said the storm could be at or near hurricane strength before getting to Florida's east coast Wednesday night. Now to the Jumbo Powerball jackpot. Someone who bought a ticket in Southern California is America's newest billionaire.
Winning ticket for the Jumbo jackpot worth $2.04 billion was sold here at Joe's Service Center in Altadena. The store's owner, who came to the U.S. from Syria in the 80s, searching for a better life, will get $1 million just for selling the ticket.
What are you going to do with that money?
I'm going to spend it on my kids and my grandchildren. I have almost 11 grandchildren, grandson.
You have 11 grandkids.
11 grandkids.
Lottery officials had to delay Monday night's drawing because the Minnesota lottery system was having issues with its sales processing system. The drawing finally held yesterday after a 10-hour delay.
The number 10. Good luck, everyone.
Then, after 41 consecutive drawings, finally, a Powerball jackpot winner.
And just from the sales here in California of Powerball tickets related to this growing jackpot, we raised a record $153 million and change for California public schools.
The winner has yet to come forward, but under California law, they cannot remain anonymous. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
After taxes, the lump sum will be $758 million. As for that store owner getting $1 million, his son says no one deserves it more. All right, get your cell phone and scan this QR code. It's our quick response code to download the Crossroads Today app. You can get breaking news alerts, vote in our viewer poll, get the latest news, weather, and sports, and learn all about our ongoing contests right there on the app. Submit those news tips and photos. The time is just about 6:38 on your Wednesday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. We hear from the local Democratic and Republican Party chairs.
On this morning after Election Day, Democrats pick up a key Senate win while another crucial race appears on track for a runoff. I'm ABC's Justin Finch. That story ahead.
Take a look at the visibilities currently at or below 1 mile, almost zero in parts of Victoria County currently, and the fog will be gone by about 8 o'clock or 9 a.m. for sure. Until a warm day today, when's the cold air arrive? I'll let you know coming up.
In Texas, the future belongs to everyone, so we created the truck of the future for everyone. Ford F-150. With an available 12-inch touchscreen and interior work surface, it puts the world at your fingertips. Because the truck of the future isn't created for just a few. It's for Texas. Ford F-150. Drive one today. Choose in stock or custom order your F-150 and lock in $3,900 for $60 plus $500 cash plus complimentary maintenance. See your Ford dealer.
Ford is the best in Texas.
If you paid more for your car insurance this year than last year, give us a call at Fred Loya Insurance or visit us at fredloya.com.
My insurance rates went up more than 50%. That's when I call Fred Loya.
My insurance went up over $100 a month. That's $1,200 a year. So I called Fred Loya Insurance.
If you think you're paying too much for your car insurance or if your renewal rates have gone up, start paying less and call or visit us online at fredloya.com.
Doctors were saying I was just fat and lazy. I actually had a tumor.
Medical gaslighting. They were all told everything was okay, and we're really all shamed that this is all in your head.
I have a nerve condition. He said there's nothing he could do, and I should just try eating some soup and listening to some soothing music.
That's the point of medical gaslighting, is that patients are constantly getting dismissed.
If you feel like you're being dismissed, here's what you need. All new Dr. Phil.
Good morning. It's 20 minutes away from the 7 a.m. hour. Tropics are active, not in the Gulf of Mexico, about as clear as it gets. Same thing with the Caribbean Sea. And here is Nicole, almost hurricane, 70-mile-per-hour winds. will probably be upgraded to Category 1 later on today, making landfall somewhere north of Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. Kind of looks like that, curving toward Tampa and up the Florida Peninsula into Georgia and into the Carolinas coming up next day or two. Promises to bring some heavy rains, gusty winds to that part of the country. Not a worry for us. And look here, this is subtropical moisture from the Pacific coming up and over the air at the surface. It's subtropical jet stream. What's going to happen is this is going to remain in place. Cold air will come down from the north, courtesy of the front, and kind of undercut this. Of course, cold air is denser, so it is more like it hugs the surface of the ground rather than going up into the air, because the moisture will be up and over the cool air at the surface at the time. That's going to be the ingredients giving us cloudy skies and rain chances coming up Friday and especially on Saturday. Saturday looks like a rather cold, damp, and kind of a dreary, wintry type of day, but we'll be enjoying the temperatures though. Front currently to the north, it's headed our way. Coming up, what are the rain percentages and the temperatures? Could we see 40s? Oh, definitely. We'll give you the details on that later on in the full forecast. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. Now to the latest on the 2022 midterm election. Key races across the country remain at razor-thin margins as the ballot count continues. Control of Congress remains on the line.
Win overnight. ABC News projecting Democrat John Fetterman as the winner of Pennsylvania's open Senate seat.
I never expected that we were going to turn these red counties blue. And tonight, that's why I'll be the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania.
Fetterman's fitness for office questioned after suffering a stroke last spring. The lieutenant governor now defeating Trump-backed Republican Mehmet Oz after mega endorsements from Oprah, former President Obama, and President Biden. The Pennsylvania pickup seen as key for Democrats in a battle for control of the Senate chamber. Candidates in other key Senate races still hopeful they will pull out wins.
We always knew that this race would be close. And so here, that's where we are.
Senate Democrat Raphael Warnock locked in a neck-and-neck race for re-election against Republican challenger Herschel Walker.
If you can hang in there a little bit longer.
If neither Walker nor Warnock gets 50%, they will face a runoff election next month.
It is clear that we are going to take the House back.
Republicans predicting a red wave on election night, but ABC's John Carl says results are bearing out otherwise.
It's nowhere near the night they thought they were going to have, and it's not a certainty that they're going to take the House back.
And exit polling shows young voters have been decisive in this election, overwhelmingly backing Democrat candidates in House races and largely choosing abortion over the economy as their top issue. And in that crucial Georgia Senate race, they're backing Democrat Raphael Warnock. On Capitol Hill, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
Leading us to your viewer poll, are you satisfied with the general election results? Let's take a look at what y'all have said so far this morning. 26% of you say yes, you are, and 74% of you say no. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. We want to keep hearing from you, and you can also scan the QR code right there on your screen to take part. And U.S. District 27 incumbent Michael Cloud wins re-election. 25 News Now reporter Darius McCormick was there for his watch party after the results rolled in.
It's always an honor, when the people place that trust in you, and it's a job I take very seriously. We're in a critical time in our nation right now. We got to restore our economy. We've got to secure our border. There's a lot of corruption in government too that needs to be cleaned out as well. And so, I've said it before when I've been traveling around, especially to the people I work with in D.C. For us, this is the starting line, not the finish line.
Michael Cloud beat his Democratic challenger Marclovio Perez to remain the U.S. District 27 representative. We now hear from both the Victoria County Democratic and Republican Party chairs sharing their insights on the 2022 midterm election. Woodrow Wilson Wagner III says that Democratic voters in Victoria should be proud of their efforts despite whether or not their candidates lost. And Bill Posey says we can expect to see some changes as Republicans make some gains in this election.
Some of the best public policy decisions made in the history of the United States were made when both parties were forced to work together. and I hope that's what happens in the coming years, in the coming months, is both parties find more opportunities for compromise and don't just think they can get everything that they want, but are going to have to look at the other perspective.
Oh, I'm sure it's going to translate into the Republicans taking the House and the Senate, and we can slow down the new Green Deal and possibly restore our, go back to normalcy with our economy. That's what I'm looking for, and that's what I hope happens.
Full party chairs, you can find that on our website, crossroadstoday.com. And the time is just about 6:46 on your Wednesday morning. Still ahead, Elon Musk selling more of his Tesla stock. Time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy birthday to Monica. Love your mom. Hope you have a blessed day.
And it's a happy 10th birthday to Sarah. Love from Mom, Dad, and Ruben.
Happy birthday to Bryce, to my beautiful baby boy. Happy sweet 16. I'm so proud of the person you are. You have become. You are everything I could have wanted in a child and more than I could have ever dreamed. Mommy loves you so much. Hope you have a great day. Love all the fam.
And happy birthday to Demetria. There you go. Happy birthday to my best friend and sister. May you be blessed with many more birthdays. Welcome to Club 50. Love you from Nikki, Raymond, Micah, and Zakari.
And Lou Ferrigno, TV's original Incredible Hulk is 71. Happy birthday.
And to see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com and click on More under Home to see the KVU Submit Your Birthday.
And happy birthday to everyone celebrating a birthday today. The time is now 6:46 on your Wednesday morning. We'll be right back.
We often have questions from other friends that want to know why we go to a wellness doctor, and I can tell you why. We have been going to Dr. Lay for 16 years. We don't live in Victoria, but we'll drive because she's worth it. When you establish a trust with a doctor like we have, problems that we had 16 years ago have disappeared completely because we listened to her. She knows what she's doing. We have experienced her hormone treatments. We can vouch for the pellet system, which we both did. We have also lost a lot of weight through her program and advice because we eliminated sugar, the culprit for everything. We feel that her advice has made us strong senior citizens. Thank you, Dr. Lay.
Hi, I'm Will Reeve, and in this morning's GMA First Look, we are going behind the scenes at the biggest night in country music, the CMA Awards in Nashville, and we're going one-on-one or one-on-two with the co-hosts, Peyton Manning and Luke Bryan. Take a look.
What's the vibe going to be like between you guys on stage?
Well, we've got some history together. I think it's just going to be loose, and that's the cool thing about Peyton is he's always really just been a natural lover of country music, and I think certainly that's why it's going to work.
I mean, the thing for me is that I realize the significance of this night. It's a little looser for me because I have no skin in it. There's no chance I'm winning an award.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have much more of that exclusive interview, plus a live concert with country superstar Keith Urban. That's all coming up on GMA. I'm Will Reeve in Nashville.
Good morning. It's 10 minutes away from 7 a.m. Starting off in the 60s this morning with areas of fog around the crossroads. Reduced visibility is almost zero here in Victoria County, so be careful driving out there. Temperature is well into the 80s by the afternoon time, and repeating the same process temperature-wise tomorrow. Friday, different story. More on that later on. Cloudy skies throughout the day. Foggy conditions to about 9 a.m. Fog advisory in Victoria County until 9 a.m. as well. And we'll begin to see more of the sunshine later on in the afternoon, with maybe a rain shower or two well west of the area along Interstate 37 and points west from there. But for us here, waiting for the front to move through, warm temperatures and humid conditions in the meantime. 84 degrees, partly cloudy skies, southeasterly winds near 10. Overnight lows in the upper 60s, with areas of fog again tomorrow morning. And then for your day tomorrow, Thursday, 84 degrees, partly cloudy skies. Extended forecast for us, keeping the temperatures in the 80s through Thursday into Friday. And big tumble in temperatures. Look at Saturday's highs in the 50s with a rain shower chances. A rather cold and rainy day, and lows in the 40s coming up over the weekend.
Elon Musk is selling more of his Tesla stock. The government reports Musk has sold nearly $4 billion worth of Tesla stock since he bought Twitter. Musk bought the social media company on October 27th, and the Securities and Exchange Commission reported Tuesday night. He waited until November 4th to start selling more of his Tesla shares. Musk sold blocks of Tesla shares totaling more than $15 billion earlier this year. It is unclear if the money Musk has raised went toward buying Twitter or to support losses at the company. Musk recently revealed Twitter is hemorrhaging money since his takeover because of a growing number of companies have stopped advertising on the platform. Hong Kong easing some of its COVID rules regarding tourist groups. Tour groups will once again be allowed to visit theme parks and museums, but international travelers are still subject to multiple COVID tests and are barred from visiting bars and restaurants during their first 3 days in Hong Kong. Still to come on Sunrise News to Know Before You Go. A teenager who died in a wreck Monday was well known and respected by local law enforcement.
After my surgery, I was very happy that Dr. Richardson checked in on me, and now I'm 6 months out. I feel great, and I'm very happy for the job that he did.
2 years ago, I had a neurostimulator surgery implant. Helped me out greatly. Thank you, Dr. Richardson.
At the Richardson Spine Institute, we ensure that the most advanced spine technology is being used and each patient receives personalized care. Call for an appointment and live beyond pain. We have your back at the Richardson Spine Institute.
Stay up to date with what's happening in the Crossroads by downloading the Crossroads Today mobile app. You'll get instant alerts to your phone or tablet the minute breaking news or weather happens. Only the free Crossroads Today mobile app features weather updates for local sports. The Crossroads Today app gives you the ability to stream our daily newscasts when you're on the go and share pictures or tips straight to our newsroom and so much more. Brought to you locally by Prosperity Bank, with 12 locations serving the Crossroads area.
Victoria All Sports is a family-friendly gun shop with everything you need for your next hunting trip. Not only do we carry the most popular brands of handguns, rifles, ammos, and reloading supplies, but we also carry the largest selection of deer blinds and feeders in the Crossroads. Whatever your camping or outdoor needs are, we've got the best cast iron cooking supplies, knives, apparel, and boots available for the entire family. Victoria All Sports, located at Houston Highway, right here in Victoria.
And now for today's question of the day. According to a survey, 58% of us don't know this about our vehicle. What is it? Okay, Trey, we have some guesses. Jessica says how to change the time clock. Mary says fog lights. Tracy says, what is a blinker for? I think she's joking. Patricia and Merritt say license plate number. Orlo says it's last name. All I know is Sally. Albert says motor size, and Julie says sometimes where you are parked at. Oh man, Julie, that is totally me sometimes.
Oh, me too, definitely. Thanks everyone for chiming in. And the answer we're looking for, I'm guilty of this as well, it's the license plate number.
Oh, very important number.
Very important number, but I can't remember it. I have to write it down or something if I need to park my car somewhere. But there you go. Thanks for chiming in on the question of the day. Stay tuned tomorrow for another great question of the day to get your day started off right.
Voters in the Bloomington ISD chose a trustee in place 3. ER Signs wins with 56% of the vote. John Ellsworth behind with 43%. In the race for Justice of the Peace Precinct 1 in Calhoun County, incumbent Hope Kurtz has served 12 years in that office. She won 68% of the vote. Her opponent, Democrat candidate Luis Rubio, behind with 31% of the vote. In an at-large seat in Nursery ISD, Dr. John McNeil was elected to the Board of Trustees with 61% of the vote. Brianne Harriman behind with 38% of the vote. In Goliad County, Judge Mike Bennett won re-election with 56% of the vote. Mary Ellen Princess Flores trailing behind with 43% of the vote. The Victoria Police Department says the teenager who passed away after a rollover crash Monday was well known and respected by the department. 18-year-old Diego Martinez was a member of the Victoria Police Explorer Post. VPD says he excelled as a leader and represented the department in the opening ceremonies of the 2020 Victoria Livestock Show. The department describes Martinez as very active with the Explorers. He volunteered and was one of the top sellers of the Weekend Warriors flags for the group. The VISD Connections office has moved, but with the goal of helping students and their families remains the same. Dr. Candace Pohl says the VISD Connections office is now located inside the Band Hall building on the Stroman Middle School campus. All the available resources are under one roof. She says VISD Connections can better serve the district's needs in a more efficient way.
We have a wide range of services. We service all of the families in VISD, regardless of their situation. We do service McKinney-Vento, our families in transition, our homeless families. We also have truancy and dropout prevention. We have pregnancy-related services for our students. We have volunteers in public schools.
If you would like to get in contact with VISD Connections, come to crossroadstoday.com. The VISD Connections office is located just behind the tennis courts on the Stroman campus. The VISD Connections office address is 3002 East North Street. The City of Victoria reminding residents to conserve water while Victoria is in stage 3 of its drought contingency plan. City of Victoria Public Works Director Ken Gill says due to low flow in the Guadalupe, the city is relying on its water reserves and alternate water permits to meet demand. Residents must limit certain types of water usage to the hours of 6 and 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. to midnight. The Crossroads was well represented in New York this past weekend. Jonas Titus, the president of the Victoria Economic Development Corporation, competed in the New York City Marathon this past Sunday. Jonas says out of the 50,000 people who signed up and ran in the marathon, he came in as 31,000. Jonas has participated in marathons both locally and in other parts of the country. His goal next year is to run in the Berlin Marathon in Germany. Best of luck, Jonas. And let's go ahead and turn to First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Trey Mining with a look at your forecast. Trey, that cold front right around the corner?
Exactly. Coming up on Friday. Wait a little while longer. It'll get here, and you will notice the difference. I guarantee you on that one. Starting off with temperatures in the 60s near 70 degrees, mid-80s by the lunchtime hour into the afternoon will be our daytime high today. So keep cool on the outside. Cloudy skies, partly cloudy skies throughout the time period today and tomorrow. No rain anticipated until we get to Friday. 84 degrees today, of course. Lows in the overnight with fog again tomorrow morning in the 60s, and then highs tomorrow in the 80s once again. And then we'll take a look at the forecast coming up. Look at the cold temperatures front arrives on Friday. 50s for highs on Saturday with lows in the 40s. Get ready to get those big coats out and those sweaters. Make it a great day today, though. Back to you, Carolina.
Time to get that space heater back out. Thank you so much, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day. Come to crossroadstoday.com for more local news, weather, and sports. And join James, Karina, Dawn, Howie, and Gino today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.